Okay, I just made green beans with a nice cheese sauce. You guys can see there's a little bit of chaos here going already. Perfectly fine. It took us 13 minutes to make green beans and a cheese sauce. We're gonna do mushrooms and a cheese sauce with a different flavor profile. So what I'm gonna do, instead of using basil with the smoked Gouda, I'm gonna saute the mushrooms up, add the cheese sauce after, and I'm gonna use spring onions because it really brings out the flavor of that cheese sauce now, or the flavor of the mushrooms. I'm gonna do one little thing different. So I'm gonna use a cheat, which I love, and that is these bouillon cubes. So just store bouillon, little cube. You throw it in the hot oil, and the bouillon cube is going to soak up the oil and start to disintegrate. It will stick to the bottom of the pan, so you need to keep an eye on it while you're stirring things. But it's going to really bring out the flavor of the mushrooms. Now I use the baby portobello mushrooms. I buy in bulk at Costco. They are wonderful. So I'm using a beef bouillon cube for the portobello. It's already soaking up oil. I'm just going to flip it over so it can soak up more. And I'll literally just crush it with the back side of the knife. So I'm going to cut up these mushrooms. Now they talk about not crowding mushrooms in a pan. I completely understand. I crowd those suckers. I throw them all in. Remember, sometimes you're on a time crunch and you want to just get things done. I do cut up all the mushrooms before I start throwing them in because I want them to cook evenly. Everybody talks about the texture of mushrooms. Mushrooms are amazing. It depends on how you cook them. If you get a king oyster mushroom with coconut oil and cube them up and saute them, they come out like hash browns, but they're light flavor. Potatoes have weight to them. The king oyster mushrooms are so light and they're slightly sweet. You can put leftover corned beef in there with them and make the fluffiest corned beef hash with those mushrooms, and you don't have all the starch in there. If you're doing keto, it's a great keto cheat. Now, king oyster mushrooms do cost money unless you go to a mushroom supplier, which if you do, great, please share that on here. They're very seasonal, so you only get them a certain time of year, so they are a treat. I'm doing these, it's just everything's coarse chopped, real rustic. But I'm doing these, maybe 1/4 of an inch thick on these mushrooms, maybe a little bit less. I want there to be some bite to them, have some density. So. And I buy in bulk, so there's plenty of mushrooms to grow. You can hear this is sizzling away, which is good. Crushing that bouillon cube up a little bit in the oil. Hey, Austin. There's green beans on the table if you want some. So, quick work on mushrooms. I am 3 minutes in, they're almost all chopped up.
Green beans.
Huh?
Green beans.
Yeah. Making YouTube videos. Can I say hi? This is Austin, my roommate.
Hello.
Okay. You are at, where are you working? What hospital? Baylor. If you see him rolling around Baylor, he's the chaplain. Say hello, ask him to come read the Bible to you. A little bit more oil. Mushrooms are going to soak up the oil, which is good. That's why I use my heart healthy, it's splattered too. Heart healthy olive oil. So you can see right out of the gate, these mushrooms are fully crowded, and that's perfectly fine. There's a whole full pan. I'm going to stir them a little bit right out of the gate. I want to get that bouillon off the bottom of the pan. It's kind of becoming like a paste with that oil, which is fine. Mix it in. I'm going to add a little white wine because there is cheese in the bottom and I don't want it to burn from the last thing that we cooked. So the white wine, when you're cooking the cheese, if the cheese starts separating it brings it back together, and if the cheese starts sticking to stuff, it thins it out. So it's a really good cooking wine thing to have on hand. Look at that, the bottom just peels right off. Everything's becoming solution. And the mushrooms are going to start to water, which is fine. The white wine helps bring the water coming out of the mushrooms into all the juices that are cooking in. So I'm going to use green onions with this. Spring onions go really good. I'm going to cut at a diagonal all the way down to the root tip, but I'm not going to put the root tip in there. Nothing wrong with the root tip, just not my favorite thing.
Are you going to cook the green beans?
Am I going to what?
Are you going to cook them?
Yeah. So part of them will go on top as garnish. I do the green onions, the green part goes in to cook with. And then the part that starts turning white, because it has really good color with some green and some white, I use those as garnish. Color is an amazing thing for garnish. And it's completely edible, so it looks good, it tastes good. You guys can see how I'm cutting at an angle. It just gives a prettier slice to the onion to use as garnish. Okay. So the green ones going in with the mushrooms. They are not as hot when you cook with them, so I'm going to put a good chunk of them in there. They're not the same as an onion bulb, but they're very, very similar in how they behave. The flavor isn't as strong once you cook with this. Whatever sugars are in that onion kind of cook down and sweeten up. Okay. I've got a waste bucket, an empty mushroom container. Okay, so I've got these guys in here. You can see a nice broth forming with all the moisture coming out of the mushrooms. Just like every other thing that's alive on the planet, they are about 70% water, so there's a lot of water that's going to come out of the mushrooms. I love the way they are with baby portobellos because they're already brown on the exterior, so they've got a beautiful contrast. I don't need to brown them. They're great just the way they are. Okay. Black pepper. A little bit of red pepper, not a lot. If you like more, you can garnish with it, pour it in, whatever you want to do. Now that we have the olive oil in there and the cooking wine, I'm going to add the coconut aminos because there's enough liquid in here that this will start flavoring the mushrooms. Again, this cuts out salt, coconut aminos. So if you need to worry about heart health, if you just want to be healthier, great. I learned from the dermatologist that those little, sometimes you get these little fat bubbles and stuff under your eyes where there's soft skin. Minimizing salt helps to get rid of those. So minimize your salt intake and you'll help get rid of those little blips that show up on your face as you age. To be fair, I've had them since I was 17. Okay, so these are looking beautiful already. Now it's time to start adding the cheese. This is a smoked Gouda. You want a creamy cheese, not a hard cheese. Grated Parmesan that you get in the container is too rough to start dissolving into this. You want soft cheese. So when you're cooking with soft cheese like this, it's going to do one of two things. It's going to become creamy, or it's going to start separating. Either it's going to start sticking to your veggies, or it's going to just split into what looks like oil and water. You use white wine to help dissolve it back. Wine, being alcohol, has this amazing property where it can be dissolved into water-based molecules, and it can dissolve into oil-based molecules. Your cheese has a high butter fat content, which is more of an oil-based molecule, but being that it came from a critter, an animal, it does have a lot of water in there. So it's already doing something amazing as it's processing, but when you're cooking with it, it's going to start kind of behaving however it wants to behave. Okay, so it smells amazing. Oh, did you try a green bean? Good. Did you try a green bean? On the table. On the table. Okay, I am back. Just washed my hands real quick. So you can see I shredded a good chunk of cheese in there. I don't need a lot of cheese. I'm just really trying to dissolve it and coat it into the mushrooms to create a nice cheesy mushroom sauce. Now when I post this, it's going to be an unedited video, so you guys will see the full time it takes to do this. We've got a beautiful, almost mushroom gravy forming as that cheese melts in, which is fine. I don't have a problem with a mushroom gravy. See here, the cheese is becoming creamy right out of the gate. It's not separating like it did on the green beans. I don't know if I need to add any more. I don't know if I need to add any more alcohol to this. And if you notice, we have a little cooking alcohol. We've done green beans, and we've done mushrooms, and we still have a third of that. You don't need a whole lot. This is bubbling away. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. I want it to reduce because it's so much moisture pulling out of the mushrooms that it's not reducing down. But as you can see, it's almost soupy, but it will be a gravy. It's gonna thicken up once it cools. The way you tell is your bubble size. So the larger the bubbles, the runnier it's going to be. The smaller the bubbles, like as they're gathering together, the thicker it's getting.
Explain what this is.
What you're eating is green beans in a cheese sauce. I grew up with green beans in a cheese sauce, but it was made with Velveeta. That's made with smoked Gouda and basil.
It's not Velveeta.
It's not Velveeta, no.
This is not even real cheese.
That's real. What you're eating is real cheese. Yeah, Velveeta's oil. This is smoked Gouda.
Mmm. Ooh, there's sliced veggies, but not.
Black pepper and just a little bit of red pepper.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not horrible, but
You don't like cheese on your green beans?
it's gotta kick it. I don't know. It's different. It's different.
Okay, so these, if you really want to have some fun, this is a great thing to put over top of a giant bowl of mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. Mushroom gravy. This is also a cheese sauce.
Oh wait, what is that?
This is mushrooms and a gravy. Do you want to try one? It's not gravy, it's cheese sauce, but it looks like a gravy because the mushrooms
Is
are
it done?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything is, it's vegetables. There's no meat in here. It's all.
Is that all you're gonna eat for lunch?
I might fry up an egg. And I'm having the worst time with this. There you go. Yeah, so one thing you could do to turn this into a date night meal, you get all your vegetables, fry up a couple eggs, put them in your pan with some oil. You want to put a lid over top and you want to cook them for 4 minutes, that way they're running. Put that over top of your veggies on these bowls. Amazing date night meal. Yeah. Amazing date night meal. Simple egg, right? That's your protein source and you're good to go. You're filling, you've got healthy stuff going in, and you're impressing whoever it is you're cooking for. Okay, this is finally starting to thicken up, so I'm gonna plate it real quick, and then I'm gonna garnish it with some cheese and those green onions.
That's definitely low carb.
Yeah, low carb, very filling. Put a fried egg on there, high protein. Okay, if you wanted to, you could put some, you saw how brown the pan is. If you wanted to, you could put some white wine in there and kind of reduce down for a sauce. I don't need to reduce down for a sauce, but here's where it is just plated as it is. You can see the green onions in there, beautiful brown already. Didn't have to brown those mushrooms. And remember, you garnish with color and flavor. You don't have to just do something that's not going to be useful.
What kind of cheese is that?
This is smoked Gouda. Smoked Gouda is very good. Yeah. You want to grate it? Yeah. Oh yeah, your quinoa salad. Sure, haven't made the full circle.
Bring out what flavor?
Yeah, more flavor. That's the amazing thing about cooking with herbs, is it brings out the flavor without all the salt. You notice I didn't add any salt to this. We've got mushrooms, we've got smoked Gouda, we've got a little bit of a gravy, and we've got spring onions on there. Thanks so much. Like and subscribe for more date night meals.